One early autumn morning, the sky was neither rainy nor sunny. On a stone-paved street in the old quarter, a blind man sat leaning against a weathered brick wall. His face was calm, so still. He seemed like a forgotten part of the scenery. In front of him was a small tin can. Beside him, an old, frayed cardboard sign bore a few crooked words. "I am blind. Please help." People passed by, but no one truly stopped. Some glanced his way, then lowered their heads and kept walking. Some sighed with pity. A few coins dropped into the can with a scattered clink. The uneven sound was enough for him to know, though he existed, he was nothing more than a shadow in the minds of passers-by. Everything repeated like that, day after day. Hour after hour, like a loop devoid of emotion. Until one morning, just as the sun brushed the edge of the tiled roofs, a young woman stopped. She dropped a few coins into the tin, just like many others, but then she didn't walk away. She looked at the sign, then at the man's face, without sight, but carrying a weariness beyond vision. She knelt down gently, picked up the sign, turned it over, pulled a pen from her coat pocket, and began to write. No tearing, no erasing. She simply rewrote the message in a different way. When she was done, she placed the sign back where it had been, angling it so that those walking by could see it more clearly. She said nothing, just smiled softly, like sunlight brushing the corner of a street, and walked away. From that moment on, everything began to change. People walking by no longer just glanced and turned away. They stopped. They read. Some reached for their wallets. Others lingered longer, even looking at the old man with a different gaze, not of pity, but of understanding. The sound of coins falling into the tin became more frequent, more consistent. Some people even left behind a bag of bread, a bottle of water, or simply a quiet greeting. That afternoon, the tin was nearly full. He couldn't see it, but he could feel it. He sensed it through the sounds, through the breath of the city around him, through footsteps that paused just a little longer than usual, as familiar footsteps echoed on the stone near dusk. He lifted his head, not to see, but to find a familiar voice. And he spoke, softly but clearly. "Young lady, was it you? Were you the one who changed my sign this morning?" She sat down beside him, not answering right away. A soft breeze passed. He continued, "I can't see. But since this morning, the whole world around me feels different. They've started looking at me as a human being." She smiled gently, placing her hand on the flipped-over sign. "I didn't say anything untrue. I just rewrote it in a way that made them feel." And on the old piece of cardboard, now read the words, "Today is a beautiful day, but I cannot see it." That story, what seemed like just a small change in wording, ended up changing an entire reality. Not because the blind man had become someone different, but because the way others saw him had changed. That power came from words, something invisible, yet capable of unlocking the most hidden doors in the human heart. Think about it. When you read a sentence, even a short one, your mind instantly forms an image. When you hear a phrase, your emotions shift, often without permission. Words are not just sounds or letters, they are keys to perception. When someone reads, "I am blind. Please help," they might feel sympathy. But sympathy alone is rarely enough to stir action because it evokes a familiar image, too familiar to matter, too expected to be seen. But when the words are, "Today is a beautiful day, but I cannot see it," that same situation becomes something different. It transforms into a specific kind of loss, a quiet ache that reaches the heart. It's no longer a request for help. It's a moment of shared human feeling, not a demand for kindness, but an invitation to empathy. That's when we begin to understand. Words are the most powerful tools we possess. A single sentence can lift someone who's on the edge of giving up. A careless one can crush someone's last ounce of hope. And perhaps most importantly, the words we say to ourselves carry even greater weight. Each day, in the silence of our thoughts, we are speaking. There's a voice inside you, narrating, judging, encouraging, or doubting. That voice defines how you feel, how you act, and ultimately, who you become. If you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, your mind will believe it. But if you say, I'm not perfect yet, but I'm trying, your mind will believe that too. We live according to the words we choose. We shape our world through the language we repeat. The final lesson. Words are not just a way to communicate. They're a way to reach someone's heart. A way to build or break a world. A single sentence can be a drop of water in the middle of a desert, or a drop of acid on a wound that hasn't yet healed. So next time, when you are about to speak, to write, or even just to think something, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, will this light up someone's world? Or will it make their sky a little darker? Choose your words carefully, not to sound clever, but to be kind. Let your words, no matter who they're for, even when unspoken out, always be a second sign. A sign that makes someone stop, think differently, and choose to care just a little more.